Okay, so first, okay, so today is December 4th, and if you will state your relation to me, and who you are.
My name is Jessica Guzman, and I am Amaya's mother.
Okay, and then share screen. Okay, so this is, ooh, basically everything we had to go through. These sheets talk about anything from, um, like me being sick, me getting sick, and then just along the lines of if I don't get better out of it all, what would I want?
Okay.
So these are kind of like importance rankings on how I feel. Some of them are gradually higher than others, basically just saying that I want my life to have meaning all the way through. I want to be competent and sufficient in myself and like not have to just be lying there. So that's basically what that
Mm-hmm.
is. So this what will be important whenever I am dying. I mainly just want to be comfortable. I want to I want to be comfortable that way my family doesn't see me going through pain, but then also I don't want to just be there like laying in a hospital bed hooked up to all these machines for a long period of time because then I feel like that's not going to be doing well for like my family also because they're just going to see me laying there and that's also something I don't want them to have to go through. um
Right.
but I mean, and I'll talk about it like further down, but it's just a matter of like I'm okay with having all the necessities to keep me comfortable. But it's just a matter of if it gets to the point where I'm literally just there, like I'm physically there, but there's no aspect of me ever coming to like my true self, then at that point it's kind of like, okay, we can start letting go in a sense. Okay. And then, so I've talked to you about the whole idea of whenever it comes to a terminal illness, but the same goes for really all of these points. Um, I want the choice to go on my own terms if I have a terminal illness and like be able to do the things that I want to do before it overcomes me. Um,
Right.
if I am ever in a coma, I do not want like my family to see me in that state, but like have them keep their last memories, like good memories that they have of me. Um, and also, I feel like permanent coma, like doctors sometimes give the slightest bit of hope of waking up sometimes to give families something to
Mm-hmm.
hold on. If it's not like a medically induced coma, I don't want to like have people latch on for hope. Like at that point, if I do wake up, I'm not going to be the same. So just take the time you need to like mourn with me, like still being like hooked up to everything. But then at that point, like I'm good to go. Um,
Yeah.
the chronic illnesses, I don't know. I feel like a chronic illness, like there's still ways to survive with that. So I would just want to like go through everything possible in order to stay healthy. But if it gets to the point where like medical intervention wouldn't help, then at that point I feel like I would just kind of try to like wean off like all the medical help and just start like living my own. Um, dementia. Um, that's like one thing where I feel like I would just want to be happy. So if my family or whoever would like be in charge of my welfare at that point, if
Mm-hmm.
I could stay with somebody, then that would be great. Like have like a family member take care of me. But if I had to live in a nursing home because like what I need is too extraneous, then like so be it. It's fine. Um, but I just want like my family to be able to be comfortable with basically what will happen to me in a sense. I don't know. It's kind of that one's kind of hard just because I've never thought about like that in a sense.
Yeah.
Um, so this will be a little hard, but so for mechanical breathing, like being put on a respirator, um, in my mind, I feel like whenever I get older, my asthma is only going to get worse. So that's kind of inevitable. Like if I get sick, like really sick, like in my older age, I feel like that's going to happen. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm okay with it if there's a chance of me like getting off, which I feel like majority of times there will be. But yeah. So for CPR, um, I said that I would only want CPR to be performed on me like like up to like 3 times in like one span of like a basically like from start and finish of a hospital visit. Like if it's like a short,
Right.
just because, and also like it's something that also I feel like would just have to be judged based on who is like my medical proxy at the time, because my main thing is I don't want my quality of life to deteriorate so much, but everybody's continuously trying to keep me alive, because then at
Right.
that point I feel like even if I do get better, I won't be the same. I won't be the same. um I will come out with broken bones because constant CPR, you're constantly breaking the ribs, you're constantly like putting so much pressure on the body. And so like I feel like no matter how I come out of it, I won't come out of it better if it's something that's continuously being performed on me. Ah, go back. Okay. So, some limitations to my physical or mental health that would affect my healthcare decisions. So currently, I don't really have any limitations that I would think of that I could think of um as like Alzheimer's and dementia doesn't really run in our family, right?
Well, I mean, Grandma Linda was starting to get dementia there, like in the last year of her life, but it hadn't really progressed much because she still knew who everybody was. It was just sometimes things would have to get repeated to her, like, you know, events of current events that were taking place.
Yeah.
So, but everybody else, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there is some that's like in the extended family, but I don't know how far back you would count. And like I said, with Grandma Linda, it was in the last year of her life.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what she died of. You know what I mean?
See, and that's like the only thing that I could really think of that would like make me not be in the right mindset. But I was like, physically, I feel like I would be fine. Yes, I have the body of an old person currently, so, but I don't think it would like physically, um, like make me incapable of making choices.
Right.
What do you want? Okay, whenever it comes to nursing homes and then also hospice care, nursing homes I'm more okay with the idea of, because like they're not really dealing with ill elderly, they're just taking care of the elderly and making sure they still have like good lives. So I said I would be okay with being placed in a nursing home if,
That's more of an assisted living, is it not?
yes, but I don't know, in my brain, okay, so nursing
Well,
home,
I guess it could be called nursing homes too.
yeah, I feel like it could be either or. But my thing is like I'd only want that like if like my family would not be able to care for me.
Right.
Now, whenever it comes to hospice, I don't want to go through hospice unless my family knows somebody personally that works for hospice that they trust and that they know will take good care of me. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want hospice just because I've learned throughout the year that the hospice like franchises and everything tend to take advantage of like the families in that sense. That's something I don't want. Um, so yeah. And then my decisions about my healthcare and treatment. Whenever it comes to my healthcare and like treatments of whatever I like might get sick with, I feel like, hold on, do you wish to participate or share and make decisions? I feel like as long as I am coherent enough to make my own decisions, I want to. Um, like I'm fine with having my family's input, but at the end of the day, if I can make the decision, I want to. Like it's my life. It's
Mm-hmm.
my it's my life. Like I want to be able to like have the ability to like make the decisions on what happens. So, oh, well, I want the truth about my conditions. So I think this is also just the way like I was raised by dad and everything, but I was like, I want to be the doctors to be bluntly honest and truthful no
Yeah.
matter how like hard it might be to hear, like to me and my immediate family. Because
Right.
my thing is I don't want them sugarcoating something and then making something sound good and then all of a sudden I'm dead because they didn't tell the whole truth or they were making
Right.
it sound better than what it actually was. So yeah. And then okay, so these are just kind of like yay, nay. I'll give my explanations for them all, but like I don't know, they're kind of I feel like in our family it's kind of self-explanatory of why. But antibiotics, I'm totally fine with antibiotics. Um, I feel like if it's for something that's life-threatening, I want to give it a try just in the aspect that it could help. Now, if it doesn't, okay, take me off, let me do what I want to do. That's fine.
Right.
Same thing, it really goes for the same thing for dialysis, like artificial vent, like getting ventilation, um, and electroshock if my heart stops beating. All of those, like I'm willing to try, but if it ends up not working or being effective, like I'm done just because I feel like at that point it's diminishing my quality of life and not helping it. Um, so like heart regulating drugs, cortisones or like steroid therapy, stimulants, blood, plasma, or any other like replacement fluids, artificial nutrition, and artificial hydration, I'm all down for because I feel like those aren't too much to like to where it would drastically affect how I'm living, but it's enough to like increase the quality of my living. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's that. Um, okay, so these are kind of like just markers to go through that, um, like if this is what is happening to me, this is what I want. Majority of them are I want to live as long as possible because I I mean I do, but
Right.
if things are turning like towards the worst and nothing's helping, then at that point I'm like, keep me comfortable. Let me do what I want to do. Whenever
Mm-hmm.
the day comes, don't try to stop it, really. So if I've forgotten everything about my past, but still recognize those closest to me, I want to be going as long as possible until it gets to the point where I quit recognizing the ones closest to me. Then at that point, just let nature take its course, basically. And then that's where this one is. I no longer recognize my loved ones, but I still smile and seem happy in my own world. I don't know. I feel like me not recognizing my loved ones is hard for y'all. Like,
Yeah.
even if I seem okay, it wouldn't be like a good time. So that's why I said that. And then I no longer recognize my loved ones, and more often than not, I seem unhappy, sad, or anxious. So I think this is one of the only ones where I said, keep me comfortable and stop or avoid any treatments that are preventing me from dying from other diseases. So basically, like, if I, which I mean, at this point in my life, I feel like I would be very sickly and need a lot of medications to keep certain parts of my like health regulating. So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
at that point, yeah, like I'm done with everything. Like let nature run its course. Let whatever happens happens. So, and then I am suffering mentally from anxiety, and you are not able to control it with medication. I feel like at that point, like just stop trying with the medications, and whatever happens happens. Like I don't know, it's hard and everything, but also like I just want, like at that point I'd be okay with getting put in like a nursing home or like any other like secondary care facility, just because I don't want my family like having like seeing me go through all that and them not being able to help me with like medication or anything. So ah I am angry or violent, but with medication I am normally okay. So I would say keep me on the medications, but like everything else, kind of start weaning me off of. Like if I end up getting really sick, like let nature take its course. Just because
Mm-hmm.
like I don't want to be angry and violent all the time and not be able to like be fine and constantly have to be on medication and like all of this stuff. Like I'm saying, like if I was like older. So yeah. But if I am angry and violent and cannot be controlled by medication, cut everything off. Anything that's keeping me alive, I'm good. Any medications, I'm good. Just let me go peacefully. And then if I can no longer communicate with my loved ones through words, I feel like there's other ways of communicating, but like if it gets to the really bad point of like everybody's sad all the time, like nobody really knows like how I'm feeling, then I'm just like
Mm-hmm.
keep me on what I'm taking, but if it comes to the point where I get truly really really sick, just let nature take its course. Um so if I can no longer feed myself, bathe myself, use the bathroom or dress myself, I feel like I want to live as long as possible. Like those aren't like whenever I was thinking about all of that, I was kind of thinking along the lines of like Huelita and Huelo Pilo and like how for a while like they did have to be taken care of and Grandma Irene too. Like they were
Mm-hmm.
still taking all their medications and like trying to elongate their lives as long as possible, but it was just harder in a sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like again, if my quality of life starts diminishing way too much, then comfort. If the only option to care for me is in a nursing home, if I am not sick, like not like terminally sick or like have some chronic illness, put me in the nursing home, I guess. But if if I have like some illnesses or anything else that's killing me, like let that like take me because I'm not a fan of somebody else taking care of me other than like family and people like I trust and know that they love me and care for me and aren't just doing it for
Yeah.
a paycheck. If I no longer seem interested in food, but I will swallow if a spoon is held to my lips. take me off of any medication that's keeping me alive. I don't,
Why?
I just feel like that at that point, like I I feel like at that point I don't want to be alive anymore. Like if I have no interest in food, like I can't eat, I don't want to eat, like it's hard for me to eat. I feel like at that point, like that's just a sign that everything's shutting down. And so it's
So
kind
you
of,
don't want you don't want to receive nutrition from like an IV.
I don't, honestly, I don't know why I put it on that one. I really was meaning like the no life-saving treatments because like I'm okay with still living, but it's the idea of like,
You feel like your body is already ready to go at that
yeah,
point?
I feel like at that point, like I would probably already be ready to go. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
want like all these extra measures being taken to keep me around if like
Yeah,
my body is not in like the best shape that it can be and not taking in nutrition like it can be. Okay.
right.
One more. I am unable to leave my bed. At that point, it's not living to me, it's just like surviving and doing it terribly. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't, that's also like the aspect of I don't want my family's last memories of me to be laid up in a bed, not being able to get out and like suffering. So,
Yeah.
and that's it for this. um, Still have my PowerPoint to go through though. So, this is kind of like faster and it's a PowerPoint, so it's organized. Ah, where is it? Where is it? Hold on. Let me find it. Why is it taking me to that one? It's not that one, it's this one. There we go. Okay. So, presentation time. My good death. If hospice care, we've already had this conversation. I don't want hospice care.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be with my family as long as possible. If y'all know somebody that y'all can trust, so be it, but that's not something I want. I think that was the only thing in there of me being like still alive in this. My body
Mm-hmm.
disposal. We talked about this. I want to be buried. My thing is I want to be buried with family. Whether I die
Right.
before being married, then I'll be buried where majority of my family is buried back home. We'll have like the church service at Our Lady. We'll do like the funeral. I don't care what funeral home we use because I feel like our family knows majority of the people that run the funeral homes back home. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're all trust, like they've gained the trust of our families, and so like I'm fine with any of them really. Um, I want so like on the financial side of it, I want to be able to have the money. So like right now, like you said, like um, I have a life insurance policy through your work, but like
Mm-hmm.
whenever I am done with college, I'd like to have the idea of like being able to save money for it. Um, just because it's something that like we really don't know when it happens, it just happens. So
Right.
I feel like something's better than nothing in order to help. That goes to the finances and positions. But like my finances and my positions, which I have none right now. So um but I put like for my executors right now to be you and dad because I feel like yes, y'all would be in mourning and everything, but I still feel like just the way our family is, like y'all would be able to handle it. And that's why I put both of y'all because I feel like there would be some things where like you wouldn't be able to do, but dad could do.
Mm-hmm.
So Yeah. And then whenever I get older, I put my husband, if willing, because like, I mean, everybody's different. Everybody can handle different things. If he's wouldn't be able to handle it, then like, I don't want to put that on him.
Right.
And as long as Priscilla's still in my life, she's in that mix too. Because yeah, she knows, she's known most about like my life on an like on an outside perspective. And like she's been a part of my life for so long also that I know she'd also know things about me and like things that I'd want and everything just based off of
Hmm.
personality wise. So, and then for my stuff, y'all can take all my stuff. I really don't care who does what with what. I really don't. I like I feel like all my stuff anyways is stuff that like is so materialistic to me and like things that I need but might not be like worth having to other people.
Hmm.
But I did put that I want like my Bible that I got in sixth grade that I like would write in and everything, and one of my rosaries to go to Levi because
Okay.
I want him to have like that piece of me and like him to be able to still grow with a part of me even if I'm dead. So
Right.
yeah, animals and kids. I don't have kids, but if I end up having kids by the time I die, Um, my spouse will keep them, of course, but
Hmm.
I would want like, and I would hope that you, dad, and then the boys would still like be able to help and like contribute in like raising my kids and keeping like my memory alive in that sense.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, if all of the above from the imaginary spouse to the boys are dead before I die, then no. Then I just want my kids to be with my family. Animals, I have no pets, but I want the pets to stay in the family also, just because I don't want them to go to a shelter. That's just
Okay.
my virtual world. Y'all know all my passwords, so get into
Mm.
whatever you please. Uh, it's kind of scary, and it I don't know. I just feel like there's really nothing that would like make y'all go. So,
Okay.
but I just want the boys to be in charge of like dealing with my social medias and all of that. And then because I feel like that's something simple, but then also like I feel like whenever I die, they'll be able to do more with it than anything. Like if they decide to keep them open, if they decide to close my like social media accounts, if they decide to post
Right.
like I don't know. I just think it would be funny, like if they were to post something after I die, but it still fits my personality. Information of for death. Um, so y'all have like all the paperwork back home that would be needed for like to start that, and then whenever I get my own family and my own house, like of course they would transfer over there. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much all this says. That I would want y'all to deal with the paperwork because y'all know all the information already.
Hmm.
So funeral, my celebration of life rather than mourning of my death. It would of course be like traditional, like with the Catholic and Hispanic communities, but I'd also want the aspect of like live music and everything to play into it. These are examples of the caskets I want,
Okay.
mainly because like I don't know, they just seem simplistic and they're not flashy, and but they're still nice also. So, um, my burial plot. Once again, I don't want it to like have a lot on it just because the the more that's on it, the more expensive it is, and that's not something that I really care about. But I said majority, like if anything, all I want is my name, date of birth, and death, everything spelt correctly, and for it to say time is your best friend because dad saying that to me growing up, and just the fact that like still to this day it helps me get through a lot. So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
turning that over, it'll help like other family members get through things also. My death notifications, my obituary. I don't want one single person writing it. I want it to be like a collective of like what everybody thought of me and like their perspectives on my life and like all thrown into one. Um, I don't I don't want to write my own. I don't like I think it also just has to do with me not liking to speak on my own things. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that. And then my notification list. It'll go family, friends, work, church, and then if I am still in school, my professors, deans, classmates, that.
Okay.
And that is it, mother.
Okay.
You made it through. Did you make it through?
I made it through.
Yay. Okay.
I just keep telling myself this is all